All right, there we go. How's it going, Elle? Welcome in. And welcome into everybody else. Soul Commodore here, back at you again. And as promised, we were talking about the past couple of art sessions while we were finishing up that last painting. We were talking about some new stuff that I had cooking for this solo show, some new concepts. And as promised, today we are starting on a brand new painting on a canvas that is 6 feet wide, well, just over 6 feet wide, and about, I would say maybe 5.5 feet tall. But we'll measure it in just a second. But it goes. I feel that. Well, thank you for joining us. Thanks for coming in. Always good to see you, Al. I am going to take just a second. We'll just let you all see this giant canvas. Hey, Crystal, welcome in. Big boy paints indeed. So I just have to roll up the previous painting that we were doing. I haven't rolled it yet. It's just laying on the floor. So I'm going to roll it real quick. I'll keep talking so that you know that someone's here. And then we'll get down to business with this. So just be over here off camera. Try not to knock over the camera. There we go. But yeah, so that's the big plans for today, is starting to get something on this canvas. The thing about these big paintings is that they're such a pain to start the roll, because they don't really want to roll up, but we'll get it to go. There we go. We got it all rolled up. It took some doing, but we did it. So I'll just put it in my little corner, my little paint corner. I did it. I did the thing where I knocked over the camera. Is it already primed? Yes, it's already primed. It's all set to go. It's pre-gessoed, so it's all set to go. I have gessoed, I have painted on raw canvas before, and I have gessoed my own canvas before. But honestly, for the little bit of costs that you save buying raw canvas and then gessoing it yourself, I'd rather just spend the little extra expense just to get pre-gessoed canvas, you know. But that's just me. I will not make a joke. I will not make a joke. I will not make a dirty. Hey, dirty jokes are welcome. I don't discriminate. I just realized I forgot to pin the bottom of this painting. Normally I wouldn't worry about it, but this thing is so big that I kind of want to pin the bottom of it as well. Sheet thick. Yes. Yes, indeed. Ugh. Come on. There we go. Okay. Now, I think I might have to back up the camera a little bit. just to get a little bit more in the shot. Oh man, I am making a mess. Knocking all sorts of things over. You could tell just how much forethought I had in getting all this set up. Hey, there we go. Now we can get most of the thing in. So, what do we do next? I'm going to throw out that wrapper. I'm going to take my drugs, and we'll get going. I just realized that it's been a while since I've done a painting standing on camera. Like, obviously the last painting we started out standing up, but just the size of the thing and the intricate work we were doing down below, it was better off to just sit down and do it. So we're going to get some black. And this, we're actually going to need a fair amount of paint. And some cerulean blue. Do you sketch out thumbnails before you start? How do you prepare for a big piece like this? Honestly, I don't tend to sketch out my paint ideas. I have references that I'll bring up if there's something that I want to try or something that I want to capture on the canvas. And I've never done it before. But honestly, I create these things, using reference images when I need to, but most of it, like in terms of sketching it out, I create paintings the same way that Michael Jackson made songs, because Michael Jackson couldn't write music and he couldn't read music and he couldn't really play any instruments, right? But when he was creating a song, he would have every single part in his head. He would know exactly how the bass would sound, the guitars, the drums, piano or electric piano, whatever it was, the synthesizers, strings and horns if you had them. He would know where all those things would go in the song. And then he would just tell people that's how I want it played, right? And I kind of work with these in a similar way. Like with this painting, I know pretty much exactly how I want it to look. It's all in my head. Now, whether it turns out that way, that's a different story. Because I also leave room for, accidents and mistakes. And for me to be like halfway through it and be like, oh, actually, you know what, this would kind of look cool. But I don't really pre-plan anything. Yeah, happy accidents. Like I said, Bob Ross's happy accidents are T.J. Brown's mistakes. The Bob Ross emo. You're trying to do thumbnails more often. Fair. Yeah, I have nothing against thumbnails. If they help artists, depending on the artist you are, then by all means, do thumbnails. I just felt like, because when I was in school, especially high school, like they would have us like thumbnail things, and I never found it particularly helpful for me. Now, I didn't do a lot of painting in high school because I hated painting back then, but even like sketching out drawings and stuff, I would rather just jump right into it. I'm going to get some water real quick, and then we will get started. I'm not going to put on the be right back screen because it's going to take 20 seconds for me to get water. Go ahead and time me. we back with some water. I want to be able to show a commissioner a few poses and layouts, etc. for them to pick. And I'd rather do a bunch of thumbnails than a bunch of sketches. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes total sense. All right. So this brush is mostly dry. Yeah. Okay. All right. By the way, when I say I kind of leave room for like happy accidents and stuff, and mistakes, and that I have things kind of planned out in my head beforehand, I don't mean like everything down to every single detail. I have the general look of the painting in my head. Like I know what kind of sky I want. I know what I want in the midground, in the foreground, in the far background. I have a general idea of how all that stuff's going to come together, and the lighting and the tone and all that. But certain variables in terms of like where, like what trees will look like or what the clouds will turn out to be. That stuff I don't have completely planned out. That stuff I kind of just leave up to the way things turn out. If that makes any sense. All right. And there we have the very first brush strokes on this new project for this solo show. And you all were here to witness it. We're jumping right in. See, where's my... I want to see exactly how tall this is. It's 5 feet, so this will be about... Yeah, I don't think I want it exactly. Maybe I'll drop it down to 4.5 feet. Yeah, this will be 6 feet by 4.5 feet. And 4.5 feet is 54 inches. Yeah. So this piece will be 72 by 54, I think. Whew, look at all these emotes going crazy. Also, I kind of have the my phone far away from my laptop, so feel free to tell me if I sound a little quiet or if the music sounds a little quiet. I need more white in that. Not quite that much white, but whatever. Hey, oh, Jake. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, I thought he could sneak in indeed. Well, what is this shout-out thing? I imagine, Jake, you did that. That looks different, though. Thought you could fly under the radar. How are you, sir? How's your day been? It's a new Twitch feature. Okay. How does it work? Because I didn't see anything pop up on the thing like, hey, go check out L. Is it like now you just have to say that kind of stuff? Which is fine, but it has a tab at the top where people can click to follow right from there. Oh, interesting. Huh. I see. Yeah, there's no blurb. There's no blurb, but the trade-off is a follow button at the top of your chat. It makes it easier to follow people, but doesn't say what game they've been playing, which is the downside. Yeah. Okay, well, that is kind of a downside, but I mean, I guess at the very least, you can just ask the person. But then I guess if they got a raid and run, you don't really get the opportunity to converse with them too much. It's fancy, though. Fair, fair. Well, look at that. We already need more white paint. Good idea separating that out, Jake. L might get mad otherwise. Oh, there it is. Triggered. This is something that's been on my mind. Not really on my mind, but it just makes me chuckle when I think about it. I am a fan of sports. Unfortunately, the sports that I like, basketball, baseball, especially football. And I've been kind of weaning off of football a little bit because the NFL has left a sour taste in my mouth this past off season. But anyway, one of my least favorite aspects of a lot of the sports that I watch is there's still a pervasive toxic masculinity that is within the sport itself and kind of permeates into the fan base, right? And one of the ways that this presents itself is you get a lot of people online commenting how much, because they're a man and they watch sports, they hate stuff like reality television and all that kind of stuff, which at the end of the day, whatever media you choose to, whatever media you choose to enjoy, go enjoy it, right? I don't particularly care for reality television myself, but I don't begrudge anybody who does. When I was in university and I was younger and stupider, I did. But nowadays, hey, enjoy what you enjoy. But the number of people I've seen who have said that kind of stuff, that they don't like reality television, they don't like drama and all that kind of stuff, but are all over this whole Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen thing, it makes me chuckle. It makes me chuckle a little bit. Jake, I'm going to make a TikTok of all the Pokemons I drew, and I'm going to make sure you see it. Oh, nice, nice. Yes, Jake, I did. Thank you, thank you. Actually, you know what? It's you said sorry doesn't really help you. I mean, it is helpful. I did appreciate it. Maybe I'll just do that. I might just do that. I won't wait like a year and a half, probably. I mean, but who knows? But, but yeah. I'm still learning how to do the photo thing, though. Fair enough, fair enough. If sports ain't reality television in the different guise, I don't know what is. I barely know who one of those is, and I don't know anything about what's going on. Oh, so Tom Brady, L, is hands down the best quarterback that's ever played the game of football. And Gisele Bündchen is his supermodel wife, who actually has made quite a name for herself and branded herself very, very well, to the point where I think she actually earns more money than he does. And anyway, they've just hired divorce lawyers. And a lot of people are very wrapped up in the drama of it because they speculate that it's because Tom Brady said he was going to retire this past offseason and then retired for a month to hang out with his family and then decided to come back to the NFL, and then his wife is fed up with it. Really, it's the kind of stuff that's really no one's business but theirs. But it just makes me chuckle, the number of people who are like, I hate reality television, I hate drama, I hate celebrity gossip. But they are all over this. They're just eating it up. Makes me think they doth protest too much about their dislike for certain reality media. Jake, I will agree, like, I'm not going to make judgments on someone's personal life, especially if it's, like, what seems like irreconcilable differences, but at the same time, like, I can't imagine, just for my girlfriend, for example, right, I can't imagine wanting to go out and get tackled by 250-pound linemen and linebackers, rather than spend the rest of my time just to spend all day with my girlfriend. Like, I think I'd rather do that, personally. Hey, Reezy, thank you for the lyric. If someone could relay to Reezy that I'm singing, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Thank you for the work lyric. I hope your day's going well. Kids, am I right? He came back to the NFL to play for the worst team in Florida. I mean, not untrue. Not untrue. I'm kind of following the wife guy from Try Guys getting booted thing. I mean, you're living for this. Eugene's fury sustains me. I only really know like one Try Guy, and I bet you can guess which one. I had never heard of the Try Guys before this whole thing happened. Also, like, again, I really feel for, again, hadn't heard about them before, never watched any of their media, still haven't really, but, you know, I feel really bad for them. I feel really bad for this dude's wife and kids and their loved ones that he just kind of, like, blew up, like, basically just destroyed the family. Well, not destroyed it, but, like, you know, kind of rocked the family. But I don't understand the mindset. I don't understand cheating in the first place. I don't get it. I don't get it. Especially when that's the persona you put out to begin with. But then, I don't know. I don't know. It's a sad situation. Needless. You know, people fall out of love. They get bored. They want to try new things with new people. Like, I get all that. Just break up. Like just get a divorce. Like, it sucks and it's tough, but also, like, I don't know. Like, it's very easy to trivialize the problems within a relationship from afar, and it's not always easy to break up, especially like in an abusive relationship. But I don't know. Like, if it's I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's just I have a hard time understanding. And maybe I'm privileged that way, that I don't understand being in that mind state. I don't know. Yeah, and not just an employee, a subordinate, which is that's a whole nother ball of wax. What a super hard guess that was. Does the bi dude like the hot gay man who wears dresses and eyeliner whenever the mood strikes him? Couldn't be. He always seemed like one of those half toxic, good vibes only people, but I thought his wife was cool. Yeah. Like I said, I knew nothing about them going in, but yeah, like guys, like just guys and girls and otherwise, don't cheat. Don't cheat. Like just break up. But I suppose a lot of people just want to have their cake and eat it too, which has always been my least favorite phrase. There's already a phrase that means have your cake and eat it too. It's have it both ways. Just say have it both ways. Because have your cake and eat it too just sounds dumb. It's like, well, I mean, I have my cake. Why can't I eat it? Which is not what it means. It means like you want to consume your cake and also eat it too. You want to possess cake, but you want to eat it too. And it's like, well, if you eat it, you won't possess a cake anymore. So the phrase makes sense, but there's a better way of saying it, which is you can't have it both ways. It's easier, it's more succinct, it's dumb. And honestly, if you find yourself in a situation, and again, this is all very easy for me to say because I'm not part of it, but if you're in a situation with a relationship where, or if you think to yourself like, I mean, I could see myself having a wandering eye because I don't like being tied down to one thing. Don't get married. Don't get married. Or don't get into monogamous relationships. Or make it very plain that this is going to be a casual thing. I don't know. Ned was always the fourth best try guy out of 4. He owned 1/3 of the company, so employee is of course a subordinate, or 1/4. Yeah, don't have kids if you don't want commitment. Exactly. Like it's. Ugh. Again, very easy for me to say from afar, but also it seems like common sense to don't cheat, and if you find yourself falling out of love with the one that you're with, just break it off. I don't know. Like you might like we're this is the 21st century. We are in, I would say, a fairly enlightened age in terms of realizing that a lot of social norms from yesteryear are kind of dumb in retrospect, and you don't have to participate in them if you don't want to. And it might piss some people off within your friend group or your social group or your family group, but you don't have to get married. You don't have to get married if you don't want to. And if you have any reservations at all, outside of because of course you're going to have some reservations, but if you're not committed to that person, right, then don't get married. Also, I did get that context, Jake, but thank you for putting it in chat. What is this back here? Is this a... Did I forget a pin in here? I did. There's a pin in this wall. There's a snake in my boot. Jake, I hope you have a good night. Thank you for coming in and hanging out for a little bit. I appreciate it. And, of course, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Thanks for hanging out, Jake. I hope you have a good night. And thank you for the advice earlier. I appreciate it. No. I don't want to ban anybody. I just wanted to clean off my mouse. Hello, touchpad. Can you please respond? Thank you. Yeah, Jake, what is this? I don't know what happened there with the text. I don't know what that was. Oh well. Let's just delete that. I got some paint on my touchpad, so I, tried to clean it off, and then things went crazy. Yeah, Jake gave me some good advice earlier. Advice about a positive thing that might be happening soon, and I just wanted his take on it. Because that's what best friends do. Also, I hope you all have fun with this with this stream, because it will unfortunately be the last stream for a little bit, because not very long, but it is Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend, so I'm not going to be streaming on the weekend at all. I might stream Thanksgiving Monday, because I think Thanksgiving Monday we might just be recovering from all the food that we ate over the weekend. We are moving my girlfriend's boats in the morning, because it's October now, and the boats that she has, because they're like personal crafts, they're not great to have outside overnight in the cold. Yo, who ate the squid? Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. I hope you enjoy your stay. Welcome in. Don't worry, I have had calamari before. It was not me who ate the squid. I cannot stand... I don't like a lot of seafood. I like fish, but I don't like crustaceans. I don't like lobster. I don't like clam. I don't like oysters. I don't like crab. I don't like shrimp. And I don't like calamari. I don't like octopus or squid. I do like a nice fish, though. It's like a nice fish and chips. I'll eat that all day. But welcome in. We are in the process of starting a new art piece that is basically the first piece that we're doing in a new series that I'm working on. I'm off the hook then? Good. Yes, it was not me. But But yeah, this is the first piece of a new series that is going to have more pieces than I think I've ever done before. So a lot of the pieces that I'm working on won't be on camera because like I want to get a lot of this work done simultaneously. Basically, Who Ate the Squid and anybody else who's coming in who doesn't know, in addition to my day job, I'm also like an actual practicing artist. And I was lucky enough to get word that I'm slated for a solo show next year. And I have the opportunity to, within this gallery space, there are 4 separate galleries within the gallery as a whole. And I have the opportunity to actually put art in 3 of those galleries, if I so chose to do so. And I think that's the way I'm going to go. The main gallery is going to be filled with all of these big pieces. This one here is going to be 72 feet by 54, so basically 72 inches by 54. So for those who aren't good with just inches, like 6 feet by 4.5 feet. There are going to be some that are bigger. Like I'm planning to do like an 8-foot one, and there's going to be some charcoal pieces as well, and some pieces that are done in oil paint. This is acrylic, but a 72-foot painting. I signed up for it. Where's my painting the size of a building? Exactly. Yes, not quite that big. We also need more white paint. Nice vinyl paint. Oh, yes, thank you. I've told this story on stream before, but I'll tell it again because you're new. And thank you for the congrats. I appreciate it. I started doing this with the vinyl because my first year at university, I signed up for the introductory art course because I went to university for art, and my teacher gave out the syllabus, and on that syllabus we had to go to the the university bookstore basically and get this art kit. The art kit itself I think was like $50-something, which like I was relying on OSAP money, on student loan money, and most of it had been gone already, and the rest of it I was saving for other stuff. But not included in the art kit was like a $15 to $20 palette. It was like a plastic palette, and it was like $15. And I'm like, I'm not going to spend money on that because this palette was plastic, much like vinyl records. So I just got like an old record and decided to do that. Here's one that we recently retired. Earlier this year because there's just too much dry paint on it, because I had the really bad habit of putting more paint on it than I needed and then it just kind of dries out. So yeah, this was the old one. This is Bless This House by the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, and this one is Disco Fever, a compilation. And a lot of the songs on this compilation, I have the actual albums that the songs are on, like the original artist albums. So I don't really need a compilation album. So, yo, Cookie, Toxic Cookie, welcome in. How are you? This is a crime. Poor records. Well, hey. Still trying to convince Soul to do an art piece installation with those. Well, I'm not against it. I just have to find the rest of them. That's the only issue with that. I just have to find the rest of them. Okay, so now we're gonna just kind of lay down some extra gray, because this is gonna be at least part and parcel where some trees are. So I just kind of want to lay that down. Time to do some singing. All right, let me pull up my timer. What's 5 minutes from now? 55. Okay, I got 29 seconds to get this timer up. There we go. We'll move the timer over here. Beautiful. So when that timer hits 5 minutes, we'll start doing some singing. Soul Ross time. OSAP, that sounds like... Oh, are you an Ontarian as well? Painting happy little trees. Oh, is it finally time for Soul to do the life-size new portrait of me? Welcome in, Bill. Unfortunately, Bill, not yet. Welcome in, not again. How you doing, Nat? Oh, you're in Toronto now. I'm just east of Toronto in Pickering. Welcome in. How you doing, Nat? Ontario crew, let's go. Oh, where we get all our electricity from? That's right. I wonder what they're gonna do when they decommission that place. I hope they got a plan, but I doubt it. Doing okay, just vibing. I feel that. That was me earlier. I doubt it too. What you painting today? So we're doing a brand new painting. That's 72 inches across and 54 inches up and down. No happy little trees yet. Not quite yet. I'm kind of doing the underpainting right now. Just getting that all settled. But Nat, this is part of the, this is the first piece that I'm getting ready for the solo show that I've got going on next year. That's what's going on with this piece. I was just watching a video last night about the whole megacity movement. Y'all got screwed. Bill, you might have to enlighten me, 'cause I'm not sure about this megacity movement. It sounds intriguing. So please feel free to educate me, 'cause I'm not sure what that is, no. I'm not sure what that is, no. Looking forward to the 72-foot magnum opus. Wait, did I say 72 feet again? In case I did, this is 72 inches, not 72 feet. And I gotta get more white paint again. Not just the first time. Do that all the time. Do that all the time. Hope you all are having a good time tonight. As we wind down this San Bernardino. And there we go. Thanks for that redeem, Toxic Cookie. That was fun. Let's see. How's the record looking? Not too bad. It's not. The paint hasn't built up on it too much yet. And this side's still relatively clean. So, let's see, Bill. What did you say here? Megacity was the term the right-wingers used for the move to have all the Toronto suburbs rolled into the city. Even though basically nobody wanted it, they did that so the Toronto City Council would be ruled by the right-wingers out in the burbs. That's how Rob Ford happened. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that is what happened. I just didn't realize there was a term that went along with it. So, thank you for the education. See, I didn't really realize that's what happened because I am not a native Pickeringite or Torontonian. I'm from a small little town in southern Ontario. It's probably not smart to dox myself, but whatever. I'm from Chatham, Ontario. Way down south. Some people call Chatham Kent the deep south of Ontario, which, I mean, in some respects that is correct. I miss Rob Ford. His brother just ain't it. Doesn't even do coke. I was born in a small town here too. Spent most of my life in Vancouver before returning a few years ago. Ah, fair. How was Vancouver? I was about to ask, wasn't that the dude who got caught doing hardcore drugs with gang members and yeah, it was on tape doing crack. Smoking crack. Yep. That was him. And now his brother is the Premier of Ontario. And is not great, to say the most diplomatic way to say it, I think. Truly one of the people, but then he died of cancer and now his brother took his job. The problem with Rob Ford was that he was an intentional distraction so that the Conservatives could gut the city of Toronto. Yeah. I was across the pond thinking, wow, I wish we could get video evidence on our idiots. Mm-hmm. Vancouver's beautiful but too expensive and not ambitious enough. That's fair. That's fair. It is an unfortunate truth. Gotta run for dinner. Sing the song of my lurkers. Well, thank you for the lurk, Elle. It's always good to see you. Enjoy your dinner. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Thank you, Elle. Enjoy your dinner. We will hopefully see you soon, and if not this time around, hopefully we'll see you next time. Okay. But for those of you who may not be in the know, and I'm not a super like, in terms of my knowledge on political things, like I'm not always the most up to speed, and I'm not always the best person to talk. But I will say that Rob Ford right now, his main goal is to try to, well, I won't say slowly but surely, but what they're trying to do right now is they're trying to make just absolutely gut healthcare, so that they have an excuse to privatize it. Because right now we've got public healthcare, by and large, and yeah, he's trying to make that as awful as possible so that there's a good excuse to privatize it, which is just dandy. And it's really, my God, don't they learn anything from America? Well, the thing is, Nat, and this is what's the most frustrating thing of all, out of all of this, is a lot of people around my age, because I'm 32, so people in that age bracket, we all see this happening. We all saw how badly he bungled the pandemic. We all saw how badly how badly this province is run under his rule. But in the last election, I think something like 33% of voters turned out to vote. Because you heard a lot of talk online about how much people hated Doug Ford. And then Doug Ford won again. Because people in my demographic just decided not to go out and vote. So, it's like, well, I mean, what did you expect to happen? And then all the people who didn't go and vote started posting online about how much they just started complaining again. And it's like, well, why didn't you go vote then? There was a solution to it. It was one of the lowest voter turnouts for a very, very long time. Or that there's been in a very, very long time. And it was like, okay. Alright. Cool. It was also the first election in a while that I can remember where there was a number of fringe right-wing parties that are at least partially funded or openly donate to white supremacist groups in Canada. So that was also very fun. As a black man, that was great. But hey. One of the people who was part of one of those political parties who tried to run under that political party in the last election is currently trying to become a city councillor. And there's a whole bunch of people in my neighborhood right now who support her. And it's like, listen, and I was talking to my girlfriend about this earlier. I don't know these people personally. They could just very well, like the people who support this person, and including the politician herself, they could very well just be a fan of those of the political party itself, right? Like maybe they're just like more right wing than left wing, and whatever. Well, not whatever, but you know, like maybe that's the case. Maybe they're not openly racist people, but when you support somebody who is part of a political party that has been shown to donate funds or has in large part been funded by white supremacist groups, and you don't see a problem with that because you agree with all the rest of the politics, I mean, that's not great. I'm sorry we're leaking all over. Well, I don't think you're leaking on us, Bill. I think a lot of these people have been emboldened over the past 6 years. I think they've always existed here, but now they just have a platform. Thank you for apologizing for your leaking, Bill. Yeah. But in brighter news, my girlfriend is going to a puppy yoga in a couple of weekends, so she's very excited about that. It's to raise money for a local animal shelter, I believe. And yeah, it's just going to be a whole bunch of puppies and yoga. America needs its diaper changed. I'm not going with her to the puppy yoga. Not because I don't like puppies. Puppies are great. I don't like yoga. It's not even that I don't like yoga. I don't like stretching all that much. And yoga hurts. Any interesting candidates for Pickering Mayor or your ward? To be honest, I haven't looked... Excuse me, I just needed a drink there. I haven't looked too deeply into their particular platforms. I plan to do that tomorrow, probably Saturday, if we got some downtime, because we're going to visit family in preparation for Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'll have to take a closer look at their platforms. 10 out of 10 would vote Soul It. Pff, I don't want to be a politician. Or we could just stop electing leaders who are old enough to need diapers. Yeah. Yeah. But no, I know Reezy can't hear me, but if someone could relay this to her, that's very flattering, and thank you, but I have zero desire to ever run for office in any sector. No, thank you. I don't need that. I don't need that at all. I've got better things to do with my time, like hang out with y'all. Like if I ran for something, I couldn't stream for y'all anymore. Also, I don't got that money to run for office. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, I don't got the capital to make an official run for office, you know? Because unfortunately, that's a big part of it. Also, I'm not sure that many people would support my purge policy, you know, which I'll sneak under the table like my third year in. Yes, exactly, Bill. I will become Canada's ruler. And I will enact a purge. But a purge light. Not every single crime will be legal. But Theft will be legal if you want to steal a tractor or something. Like, go ahead. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm saying a bunch of stuff that'll incriminate me. I do believe that not every single politician, because I've heard this levied before, that like, I mean, I believe that to get high up in politics, much like to get high up in business and stuff, you have to have some like capacity to be able to openly lie to people and not feel guilty about it. I do believe that there are some people who get into politics to do good. Now, their version of good might be different than other people's, but I do believe there's some people that get into it with good intentions and don't just want power and money. But I do think that there is a certain mindset that you have to have in order to run for office, even if you are running to do good. And I just don't possess that. I don't have that mindset that you need to be a successful politician. I can be Canada's figurehead, like the Queen, except better. Yes, yes, I can. A purge where the only things that are legal are crimes against corporations over $500 million annual revenue, or white men with over $1 million of personal income. You know, things that shouldn't be crimes anyway. Hey, Nat, thank you for the lurk. Thank you for the lurk. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Thank you for the lurk, Nat. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. And thanks for hanging out with us for a bit. Well, I would hope I would be able to kick her ass now, at the very least. Actually, you know what I would do if I was Prime Minister? What I would do if I was Prime Minister, I would make poison ivy illegal. That's what I would do if I was Prime Minister. I would make it illegal. After what it did to me earlier this summer, yeah, poison ivy's got to go. I don't care if it destroys ecosystems. I would also single-handedly destroy Canada's housing market so that houses would be $2, which probably isn't good for the rest of the economy, but at least if you had a toonie, you could get as many houses as you want. Yeah, I mean, you'd at least get one. So, that wouldn't do great things for the rest of Canada's economy, but whatever. That's not my problem. Let the economists figure it out. For God's sake, don't burn. Oh yeah, no burning of the poison ivy. No. We're just cutting it down. Also, my money would be on absolutely beyond soul against King Chucky. That guy definitely has inbred fertility. The leftover corgis versus Chuckles. Housing should be decommodified. Yep. Nope. So we're just working on some clouds up here. There won't be too many clouds, but there'll be some. It's not going to be like that plane painting where it was just clouds upon clouds upon clouds. I don't want that particular look for this piece, but I do want some clouds. Very kind of gray sky. Strong argument to be made for nationalized housing. I will say Charles III would have won a lot of favor with me if he had taken his regal name, King Chuck I. I was listening to the Around the NFL podcast because while I don't watch a whole lot of NFL games now, I do like those guys. It's a very fun podcast. And they kind of keep me up to date with all the games that I don't watch. And they were over in London, England, for there was a game in London, an NFL game in London this past weekend. There's one this coming weekend as well. And before the game, they played the American national anthem, and then they played the British national anthem. And the host of the show, said that he was fully unprepared for the lyric change to the British national anthem because now it's "God Save the King." He wasn't prepared for it. Which is fair because I wouldn't have even thought of that. I wouldn't have even considered that change happening. Which is why it's a good thing I'm not in charge of these things. There we go. Yeah, it's so wild. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it makes sense, at the very least, but it's weird. Oh, some hair on there. There we go. So those of you who aren't celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving, or even if you are, yeah, I don't know why I made that qualifier. What are y'all's plans for this weekend? If you've got any. Theory, Charles doesn't want to be king. He wants to putter around at home gardening. However, he's had this whole gonna be king thing his whole life. And that one thing that's kept him going is planning in his head the absolute epic prank he's going to pull at his coronation. Oh, chilling and applying for CCA grants this week. Nice. What CCA? What? Remind me what that is. Because I think I know in my head, but I might be wrong, and I don't want to be wrong. But that sounds good. Applying for grants is that can be very tedious and frustrating and stressful. So all the best to you while you do that. I've applied for a number of grants. Like that's the Canadian Council for the Arts, right? Yeah, Canada Council for the Arts. Nice. Oh, so you're an artist too. What kind of art do you do? Feel free if you've got like a website or something, or you want to show off anything. Feel free to post it in the chat. It was agonizing. Finished yesterday. Nice. Oh, after applying for CCA grants this week. Sorry, I thought you were chilling and then doing that. I read that wrong. But yeah, no, chilling is definitely necessary after that. Jack shit for plans. What do y'all eat for Canadian Thanksgiving? Would it be appropriate to make some poutine? Hey, you can make poutine if you want. Traditionally, people tend to just do like American Thanksgiving, like turkey and all the trimmings and all that kind of stuff. My family tends to do kind of like a potluck type thing where there is turkey, but there's also ham and scalloped potatoes and mashed potatoes and corn. And my one of my aunts makes hot dogs wrapped in bacon and then like seasons them with like brown sugar and some molasses or something like that, and puts it in like a cooker. And there's beans and of course all the desserts, apple pie and all that kind of stuff. My girlfriend's family, because half of her family is French Canadian, the other half of her family is Dutch Canadian. The Dutch side tends to have more Dutch food. I mean, there's like turkey and all that kind of stuff, but there's more Dutch food, and then on the French side, there's more French food. So it's a nice little mix of everything. Actually, it was for my wife's textual sculpture practice. Oh, very cool. I work as a writer, but no cash for me. Textile sculpture. Very cool. Well, if you have her permission, feel free to post her stuff in it. Because, I mean, this is a space for everybody to share whatever kind of arts they do. So if you want to like post some of your writings too, I mean, feel free. Or like a link to some of your writing, by all means. Now I'm picturing a turkey stuffed with escargot. I mean, I wouldn't eat that, but I'm sure someone would. I should say more traditional French Canadian food. So, for instance, my girlfriend's grandmother on her mom's side makes a tourtière, which is a French meat pie, which is very good. So, yeah, like poutine. I haven't had poutine at any of these Thanksgivings yet, so maybe one of these days. Maybe I'll make some and bring it. I didn't quite like the direction that these clouds were going, so now I'm just going back in with some lighter white and blending it in a bit to kind of change the direction that these clouds were heading, because I want it to match the clouds over on the left where they're kind of heading in this direction as opposed to coming in. I don't know if that made any sense. These clouds are angled up like this. These ones were angled down like this, and rather than have them come and kind of meet here, I want them all kind of moving in the same direction. So that's what I'm changing right now. Your wife's website. Awesome. Thank you. Let me check that out. Yo, what is... That's nuts. Knitted textile relief sculpture. Yo. That's really cool. I appreciate all kinds of art, but I am not good at sculpture at all. I tried it like once in university and it was not for me. So, wow. Whew. That's crazy good. Ooh, I gotta bring the camera in. I don't know if y'all can see this, but I love that. I love that. This whole series, actually, the layered fluidity, I love that. Ah. I dropped my camera again. Very cool. Very cool. I like that. And there's like a fashion line along with it. Whew. Very, very, very cool. Yeah, I dig that. I dig your wife's work. Hey, no worries. No worries. But yeah, I've gone through the process. Thankfully I've gotten an Ontario Arts Council grant way back in the day, and I was working on a series to put in a show with their help, and then COVID hit, so that's kind of been put on the back burner. This project that I'm working on now isn't actually funded by that grant. The project that I did I've kind of put on the back burner because I want to rework some of the pieces, because looking back on it, I don't really like how a lot of those pieces turned out, so I want to work on them a little more and rework some of them completely. Back in 2016, I applied for the Canada Council of the Arts for that grant. I didn't get it. But that made sense because I was absolutely awful at grant writing back then. Also, I didn't really have a cohesive theme for my practice yet, particularly for that body of work. I do remember I drove to Toronto to submit it in person because it was the final day that I could submit it. And made it like just in time, and then went back to Chatham that same night. Actually, that was 2015 that I did. No, it was the beginning of 2016. Yeah, she does fashion design too. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Very, very impressive work. I hope the grant goes well for y'all, because yeah, I would love to see some of those pieces continue too. That's the one thing that sucks about art making, is that it can be very expensive, just in terms of like the cost of the products, and when you're a practicing artist, like you're not paying when you're a full-time practicing artist too, like you can't really pay yourself, you know? Like there's not like for a lot of people, there's not a consistent salary, you know? So you end up relying on applying for grants and just kind of making do. And unfortunately, sometimes that financial barrier is what keeps a lot of people from getting into art. And part of my aims for this channel is like, if all you can afford is like a simple little canvas from the dollar store and some like Walmart paint, you should still, like, if you feel the inclination to go do it, you should still get that stuff and try to get into it that way. You know? Because at the end of the day, paint is paint. You know? Charcoal is charcoal. If you can find the means to do so, you don't got to get the high-end stuff. Like, just try it out with the cheap stuff. See if it's really for you. There's no shame in that. There are some artists out there that would shame you for that, and that's a damn shame right there. But there we go. That's better. Now they're all flowing in the same direction. I wish the government just gave artists a basic guaranteed income instead of making them jump through so many exhausting bureaucratic hoops for money. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. That would be very nice. Let me wash this brush off. And we'll do a few more clouds. Not just artists. I'm a big advocate of UBI. Yeah. Same. The one thing that because like the big thing is like people talk about automation and how great automation will be, but it's like, but what about all these people that are going to be out of jobs and will not have the money nor the skills to go into the jobs that will still be around after automation kicks in, you know, like widespread automation. And UBI is not, obviously nothing's a perfect solution, but UBI is a solution for it. I've had this talk with my girlfriend before. I get a lot of satisfaction out of the jobs that I do, because I do have a full-time job, you know, and I get satisfaction out of it. I get satisfaction out of doing a good job. At every single job that I've held, it's just been a job to me, right? Some have been better than others, but overall, at the end of the day, they were just jobs, and I took pride in doing a good job, you know? And that's what I took pride in. Some people really enjoy working. I've never had a job where I absolutely hated working, except for one, KFC, when I was in my second year university. That sucked. I wouldn't do that again unless I had a family to feed. But at the end of the day, a job, all the jobs that I've had have just been jobs. What I really like doing is this. What I really like doing is, you know, hanging out with you all. But this, like, if UBI became a thing and we could afford it and it was enough, because it's supposed to be enough for you to live on, right? And sustain yourself on while still being, you know, be able to like do some things, right? I would just do this all the time. Like I wouldn't work. You know, I really wouldn't. Because, like I said, I get a lot of satisfaction out of doing a good job at the job that I have. And I do work hard. And I do make sure that I do my job well because it makes other people's jobs go well when I do my job well, right? But if I didn't have to work again because there was universal basic income and I could just do this all day, I'd be all over that. Any job where most of the food is fried is going to be unpleasant. Yeah, I worked that job with Jake, actually. Jake from the Woods. Yeah. I mean, yeah, and that job in the hot, humid, because of course it was an old building, right? So they didn't put air conditioning in there. They wouldn't spend the money to put air conditioning in there. They put it in the kitchen, or not the kitchen. They put it in the dining room, but not back in the kitchen, right? Because they weren't going to spend money on that. And I was the cook, well, one of the cooks. The thing that made that job the most awful, though, was, so when you were a cook, right, you were graded on your chicken throughout the night. Like, they would check the consistency, the quality of it, and I always rated really, really high on the chicken that I cooked. People were really enjoyed it. They were like, man, this is really good chicken this time around, right? Like, they got positive customer feedback But I got dinged because the reason the chicken was so good was because I was making it correctly. And doing it correctly meant it took longer. And KFC is supposed to be fast food. I mean, there's no real fast way to make fried chicken, but I was taking my time, like breading it like you're supposed to, right? Because I was doing it by the book, and they were like, you're making really good chicken, but you're making it too slowly, so you gotta speed it up. Also, I was moving back to university, so I put in my 2 weeks before, and the manager was like, "Oh yeah, okay." And then my last day, I went in and I was like, "Hey, this is fun, my last day." And she was like, "What do you mean your last day?" And I was like, "Well, I'm moving back up to London," because I was going to Western University. I was like, "Well, I'm moving back to London tomorrow to go back to school." And they're like, "Well, we have you scheduled for tomorrow and for the rest of the week." I was like, "Well, I'm not going to be here. I'm not even going to be in the city. I'm going to be in another city. So this is my last day." And then she said, "All right, but you should know when you get in the real world that just because you ask for time off doesn't mean you're going to get it." Which is true, but this wasn't time off. I was quitting. I put in my 2 weeks because I was moving back to school. So that was it was eye-opening seeing how that place was run over the course of that summer. And I only worked there for like 3 months. But it was an education. Oh, also, I got an asthma attack there once, from the steam from the cookers, while we were cleaning up one night. So that was fun. It wasn't a super serious asthma attack. Like, I was fine. But man, and you always you smelled like grease all the time. Like, I really didn't like that job. That was the one job that by the end of it, I was like, I don't even care if I'm doing a good job anymore. I'm over it. Exactly, Bill. Exactly. Yeah. It's literally not my problem. You all figure it out. Because I'm not going to be in the city anymore. Okay, so we're going to be cutting this a little bit shorter than usual, just because I have to take care of some stuff, as you do in life. But I will show y'all what we've done so far today. We'll get back to 2-hour art streams soon enough. It's just, life is kind of busy right now, and I've got, like we all do, we've all got a bunch of stuff to do. So if I have to sacrifice a half hour here or there of stream to make sure that stuff's done, it's going to basically help me continue streaming in the long run. Not that what I have to do is, not that streaming is dependent on the stuff that I got to do, but it's just stuff I got to do in the short term. All right, let me give y'all a close-up look at what we've done. So we got the base sky done. You see all these ripples here? That's just because the painting is hung on the wall. It won't stay wrinkled like that, especially after we stretch it. But that won't be till later. But so we got a nice base layer done on the sky. And we've got some clouds here up in the sky. Let me come over here and there's some more clouds. So it's looking pretty good. And yeah, next time we get together and do this, we're going to start working on some of the background stuff. There's going to be some trees, some more trees in the foregroundish, and then we'll figure out some stuff to do down here, as well. So, yeah. So with that, let me put you all down here so I can rap to you a little bit. There we go. But yeah, thank you, Crystal. Oh, no problem. No problem, Squid. Thank you for coming in. And thank you for the follow. I really do appreciate it. And if someone could tell Reezy, thank you for coming into the stream. Actually, I could just type that myself. I've got the thing right here. And really, I do sincerely thank all of you for coming to the stream, because you all are what make the stream, you know? If not for you all, it would just be me talking to myself while I paint, which I would have been doing anyway. So you all come in here and make it fun. So, but yeah, Squid, thank you very much for the follow. Toxic Cookie, thank you for the karaoke. I hope you all enjoyed that. Let's go find somebody to raid. And like I said, eventually the 2-hour streams for art will come back, because I know they've been an hour like as of late. But now that we've got this new project on, you know, we'll get back to that 2-hour block. But let's see who's on. Let's see who is on. Ooh, you know what? You know what? Nat was in here earlier, and I know we're going from an art stream to a gaming stream, but Nat is playing Celeste, and Celeste is one of the best games. It's one of my favorite games that I've ever played, that I've ever seen. I still haven't beaten Celeste all the way through, but it's been one of the best games I've played so far. So we're gonna go say hi to Nat, because Celeste 2 is pretty chill, you know. So let's raid. Not again. There we go. Channel's intended for mature audiences, so keep that in mind. Y'all gotta be mature. I will make that joke every single time that message comes up on my chat. So be prepared for that. I'm gonna make that corny ass joke every single time. But yeah, thank you all for coming into the stream. Like I said, there won't be any streams this weekend because of Canadian Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to those of you who celebrate. I know there are probably some of you who abstain from celebrating because of the connection of Thanksgiving to the horrendous treatment of Indigenous people in Canada and in the United States, which is fair enough. So if that's you, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And for the rest of you who aren't celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving because you're not Canadian, I hope you have a fantastic weekend as well. And we'll possibly see you Monday. You love corny ass jokes and corny ass jokes. Nice, nice. For those of you, I mean, we might stream Monday, but we'll probably be back Tuesday. We'll definitely be back Tuesday, next Tuesday, playing some Paper Mario. So until then, see you all later, and let's go say hi to Nat. All right. Bye, everybody.